Hello YouTube, this is Falcon Paladin coming to you with a daily Blizzard upload. Today it is Starcraft 2, and this is a professional game between Trap and Flash, two of the best Starcraft 2 players on the planet. This took place at the Intel Extreme Masters 2015 Katowice tournament that just finished up today. So these are hot off the press, and I'm really excited to be casting them to you today. This is a Protoss versus Terran. In the top right corner in the blue trunks we have Flash. Now Flash needs no introduction if anybody is familiar with StarCraft, but for those who are not, Flash is one of the more famous StarCraft players of all time. Back when StarCraft the original was out, StarCraft Brood War, I guess the expansion of the original, he became known as being the youngest player ever to have his game broadcast on television in South Korea. He was 14 at the time, and he was already a professional StarCraft player. So years ago, back when I was in middle school and not accomplishing much of anything, Flash was making money playing this video game and has just continued to make money ever since. He is, again, one of the best players in the world. He took a while to come over to StarCraft 2, and when he did, a lot of people predicted he would just steamroll everybody. But it turned out it took him some time to find his footing, but eventually he did figure out what he was doing, and he won 3 Intel Extreme Masters tournaments in 2014 alone. So he's been doing very well as of late, and is a very formidable opponent for anybody to come up against. On the other team, the other side here, we have Trap, a Protoss player who, again, has been playing StarCraft 2 for several years. He began in 2012, I believe is what I read. So he's been around for a while, and he most recently has been winning tournaments in the MLG, Major League Gaming Season Championships. So he's been around for a while. He has been winning lately as well. I believe he has 3 separate championships in 2014, as well as Flash. So this should be a fantastic matchup. It is a best of 5 series, so whoever wins 3 games will win the whole thing. We have a command center going up for Flash with a barracks in the base as well, fairly standard against Protoss. Now over here we have a Pro making a sneaky pylon, which is something that Trap is trying to do. I'm going to assume this is going to be an Oracle push, where he's going to make a Stargate, get a couple Oracles out, fly them over to Flash's base, try to kill as many workers as he can. I'm interested to see why he didn't scout though, because this is a 4-player map, and for all he knows, the Terran player could be at the bottom left or the bottom right, but he seems pretty confident that the shortest distance to go is going to be across the top here. And instead he hides a Twilight Council, so that might be something for quick blink stalkers. I'm assuming Zealot Charge isn't a quick rush that Protoss do against Terran at this point in the game, but who knows, we'll see. We do see the scouting probe heading out now, so this isn't so much a distance issue, this is more just about hiding the tech and putting the Twilight Council where Flash is not likely to see it. So Flash may be confused. He did a good scout around the base, only saw a gateway, a cybernetics core, and not much else but 2 gas. So he knows there's hidden tech somewhere. There's probably a Stargate or a robotics facility, or who knows, a Twilight Council out there, and he wants to find out where it is so he knows what's going on. We have Blink being researched and chrono boosted by Trap, so clearly that is something that he's planning on doing in order to do a Blink Stalker push, which is really good on this map just because there are different places to blink up into the main base of the Terran along this cliff wall here, along this cliff wall here, and can be really frustrating for Terran to deal with. We have one Stalker pushing in to make some harassment, but he recognized that, oh, there's a bunker full of 4 Marines just at the last second that Flash manages to fill, and he decides to head on home. Up in the production tab, we see the mothership core coming down, vital for defense for the Protoss player. Also, obviously, getting Blink and Warp Gate technology. The Terran, Flash is working on submarines, another bunker, SCV supply depot, and a missile turret. So he is definitely worried about the possibility of an Oracle harass. Just gets a missile turret in the mineral line here. It's good to do anyway. It has a lot of different functions. It can take down air units fairly well, and it also detects against Dark Templar attacks that try to come in. So Terran players will usually do that against Protoss. We have a scouting SCV taken out by a Stalker doing his job, keeping that SCV from getting into the main base and seeing what's going on. Back here we are morphing into Warp Gates, and the Twilight Council blink is almost complete, still being chrono boosted. I assume Trap saved up his chrono boost in order to do that, and he did. Might have timed it perfectly well, which is something that pro players can do, is timing how much corner boost they have for what they need. A forward pylon is put down for that warp kit technology. So we're going to see some warping in of some stalkers, I assume, as soon as that's finished. And a blink stalker attack is incoming. In preparation for that, Flash has his SCVs up at the bunker, knowing that if he can keep these bunkers repaired, it will be much, much harder for Trap to come up this ramp. But these blink stalkers are interested instead in coming up this side. They come a little bit earlier than Flash expects and are able to take out several Marines and are now constantly kiting these SCVs, even throwing down a time warp on those SCVs, so they are slower and the Marines are slower in chasing these guys. The blink stalkers are doing a lot of damage, but they are slowly being taken out. I don't know how much Micro Trap can do here, focusing on what he wants to attack, but he just decides to run away with his remaining 4 stalkers, get a couple pot shots off before he loses too many more. I think these are more just scouting stalkers. They do take out a single SCV, but they're going to try to get out. Ooh, more friends join at the front. Now we have 6 stalkers against 4 Marines and a Marauder, and Trap feels like that is not very fair odds. So he decides to back out. And you notice the bunker is here, so Flash knew this was a possibility, that the blink would come up. He was almost ready for it, but the bunker wasn't quite complete. The Marines weren't quite out, and he did take some damage from that. So supply is now 44 for the Protoss to 37 for Terran. The blink stalkers blink right past that bunker, get up into the natural, focus down these Marines, and head up into the main. They are fast units. They hit hard. They can blink. Stalkers are, again, very frustrating for Terran to play against. More as they focus down the Marauder, blink away, focus down a second Marauder, try to get it. They can't. He escapes into the bunker. And now they're just trying to pick off Marines and SCVs as best they can before they blink out to where their friends are warping in with a second forward pylon. And it's 29 to 40. Terran still has a pretty steep hill to climb to come back from this, but you'll notice that Protoss is only on 1 base, so Trap is really hoping that this attack succeeds fairly soon. He does get back up into the main. They've been the Mothership Corps going to town on this refinery. The response comes with the Marines and the Marauders trying to drive back the Protoss force. But all these SCVs being off the line, it just hurts. It hurts the economy of Flash. Trying to take down these stalkers on the low ground. The stalkers, again, are getting taken out. In a straight-up fight, these Marines and Marauders do pretty good against the blink stalkers. The trick is getting a good beat on them and making them hold still long enough to where we can actually get the damage off. So the worker count at this point is 12 to 26 in favor of the Protoss. But, again, it is 2 base to 1, and a Dark Templar comes in for Trap. There is no missile turret in the natural here. So the Dark Templar comes up the ramp. Everybody knows what's going on. I believe Flash saw the telltale shimmer, and he's going to come in and try to take down this missile turret before it completes, but no, he's not able to. And the Dark Templar is destroyed. The Blink Stalkers take out a second turret, just making the effective range at which the Terran can see this Dark Templar less. The remaining 4 Blink Stalkers almost get taken out, but they are able to blink away. The cooldown is up. Dark Templar dancing around up top, searching for a way to do some attacks without being in range of the missile turrets. Pretty much hemmed in by this Marine Marauder ball. Back home, Trap is making a second Nexus, so he doesn't want to make everything rely on this attack. He does want to have some economy in case it fails overall. He forces the command center to go back into the main, which effectively removes Flash's expansion. The Dark Templar is in the base. It has 5 kills. It tries to escape. It's not able to. The missile turret spots it, and everybody else takes it down. This group of Blink Stalkers, again, no upgrades, just straight Blink, are able to get into the main. Flash recognizes he is down to 8 workers, realizes that Protoss must have another base by now, decides to avoid the slow death, and gives out the good game. So that was an action-packed game 1 to this series. I hope the rest of it will be as exciting. If you liked what you saw, hit the like button for YouTube, subscribe. You can also follow me on Twitter and Facebook at /FalconPaladin on both of those social networking sites. And as always, until next time, this is Falcon Paladin, and you take care of yourself.